You you don't have to like Donald Trump. You don't have to like Donald Trump. Heck, you don't have to like any other president for that matter. But if you're going to attack law enforcement and if you're going to attack ICE agents, you got another thing coming. Because you don't have, like I said, you don't have to like Donald Trump. Heck, you don't have to like the Republican Party in general. But attacking ICE agents and attacking people like ICE agents and law enforcement officers that keep our country safe, then you have another thing coming. If you have to resort to throwing glass bottles at ICE agents and law enforcement, you have another thing coming. You will be arrested and you will be held accountable for your actions. You are not going to get away with violence, whether it's political violence or another form of violence. You don't have to like Donald Trump, but you should never attack ICE agents for doing their job. You never had a problem with ICE agents under the Obama administration. You never had problems with ICE agents under the Biden administration. You never had any problem with ICE agents under the Bush administration nor the Clinton administration. It's only now that you guys have a problem with them. Only because you guys hate borders, although borders exist, and every single country enforces its borders. Every single one. Try going to France illegally. Try going to Germany illegally. They're going to deport you back to America. It's not rocket science. It is not rocket science. It's relatively easy to understand. If you are going to attack ICE agents, you have another thing coming. That's all I'm going to say, bro. If you want to sit there and attack ICE agents, and then you want to turn around and say, oh, well, we're protesting. No, you're not. The First Amendment protects peaceful protest. It says the right to peacefully assemble. Nowhere does it say you have the right to violence. Show me in the Constitution where it says that you have the right to attack law enforcement. You're not going to find you're not going to find anywhere where it says that. Because you cannot attack ICE agents. It's ridiculous. You don't have to like the current administration, but you should never, and I mean never, resort to violence. Violence is never acceptable. And I hear a lot that, if someone breaks into your house, you have to shoot them. That wouldn't be considered violence. That would be considered self-defense, which is a whole nother issue. But what I'm going to say again, if you attack ICE agents, you will be held accountable. It's always F the police. It's always F the police until you realize you need the police. It's crazy how the Democrats want to defund the police while wanting so-called justice for the politicians in Washington that they claim are criminals. It's a double standard. Democrats are speaking out of both sides of their mouth. One side, they hate the police and they want to defund the police and they want to abolish the police. Then they want these so-called criminals to be arrested. So what is it? Which is it? Do you hate the police or like the police? Because again, you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. You do not have to like the current administration, but that doesn't mean you dox ICE agents and you go get pictures of their faces and then you dox their family members. That's absolutely not okay. Never is it okay, whether what party you're on. It doesn't matter what party you're on. Violence is never okay. You know what? You know what? If my party would have done exactly what the left is doing, I would have criticized my party. I criticize the Republican Party when it's needed. I'm not extremely biased like some of these Democrats are. Democrats never criticize their party. Some of them, and some of them do. Some of them criticize their own party, and kudos to them that actually criticize their own party, because that's what we need in this country. People who are disciplined, self-disciplined, and people who stand up for what's right. And standing up for attacking ICE agents and doxing their family members is never okay, nor should be accepted or tolerated. If you want to attack ICE agents, I will personally make sure you're turned in if I'm able to turn you in. Just saying, you should never support what the left is doing to ICE agents across the country. It's ridiculous. If you are going to dox an ICE agent, you should be held accountable for that. 100%. You should never dox ICE agents and then expect to get away with it. No, you should never, ever, under any circumstance, attack law enforcement. Not just this doesn't just apply to ICE agents. This applies to anybody with the law. This applies to the SWAT team. This applies to ICE, the police. You guys are getting mad that ICE agents have to wear masks in order to be safe. That is what the left created. The left creates a problem and they whine about it. Maybe stop attacking ICE agents and stop violently throwing glass bottles at ICE agents, and maybe, just maybe, you might actually get what you wish for. But stop attacking ICE agents. ICE agents aren't the problem in this country. If Joe Biden wouldn't do all this mass amnesty to 11 million plus illegal aliens, then maybe we wouldn't be here. Okay? Remember when Hillary Clinton said, if they come into this country, deport them, no questions asked? Remember when Obama said that he was going to deport people that come into this country? He said that if you come into this country, if you plan to come into this country illegally, your chance of getting caught and getting sent back just went up. And I quote, exact quote from Obama. You guys, the left doesn't care about facts anymore. They don't. The left doesn't seem to care about facts anymore because they seem to forget. They seem to forget what Obama did. Obama actually deported more people than Trump did. But I guess the left forgets that. Just saying. Remember when George W. Bush was doing mass deportations? Everyone still calls him a good president. People praise Obama for his mass deportations. You realize 99% of all Obama's mass deportations were actually done without due process? Same with Bill Clinton and same with George W. Bush. Since when do they care about due process? The cop that they tried to say killed George Floyd, they didn't give him a court. They didn't give him a fair trial. They didn't give him due process. But now all of a sudden, when they're the victims, they want to act like victims after attacking ICE agents, and now they're going to whine like babies just because ICE agents have to wear masks because they are the ones doxing ICE agents. That is not a party that I want to be associated with. I don't want to be associated with a party that is doxing ICE agents, that is throwing glass bottles at ICE agents, that is acting so violent, and I definitely don't want to be affiliated with the same party that is the cause of Charlie Kirk's death. Never. Never, 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 never. And these Democrats are trying to turn Charlie Kirk's death into some clown show and try to make fun of it. It's not going to work. Okay? We're tired of it. We're tired of the same radical left lies that they try to spew and they try to push. One minute they're doxing ICE agents, and the next minute they're trying to be the moral compass and trying to tell us not to be violent. Huh? Make that make sense. Then the left doesn't want to, the left seems to not want to shut up about January 6th, when January 6th was an isolated event. There were both Republicans and Democrats at January 6th, by the way. Trump was actually not at the White House that day. He was actually busy outside. I think he was doing something. I forget where he was, but I know that he wasn't there because I saw it on the news that day, and I saw it on Google, and Donald Trump was not at the White House that day, so he couldn't even have been the one that did it. He couldn't have been the one that caused it. And also, not to mention, Donald Trump condemned the attack. And a lot of it, and what January 6th was it was a peaceful protest that got out of hand. That's what it was. That's why they're keeping it on life support, because it's an unusual event for Republicans. Republicans aren't the ones that usually get violent. We're the ones that support open dialogue. Hence why Charlie Kirk started Turning Point USA, which is literally the whole point of it, is to have open dialogue. Just saying. There are many things that the left is refusing to actually understand and comprehend. The left is unable to cope with dropping poll numbers. People are switching conservative in droves. People are going back to church in droves. People are accepting Jesus into their heart and life in droves. People are switching back to church in droves. Church attendance is spiking. There's revival in this country. Revival is in this country, and revival is now. And the Democrats hate it. The Democrats want to support abortion, which is killing more babies than any war has. It's a million abortion claims over 1 million lives a year. Abortion kills more people than the Holocaust did. 100%. Over time, it will. And 11 million people died in the Holocaust. Around 11 million people died in the Holocaust. In a decade, think about it. Do the math. In 1 year, about 1 million babies are killed in an abortion. So do the math on that yourself. Let's also focus on the fact that the left seems to want to ramp up all the political violence. And just in case if what I said wasn't enough, let's take a look how the left responded to George Floyd's death. After George Floyd's death, the left caused over $2 million in property damage, and they've destroyed buildings, looted buildings, and they've destroyed buildings, looted buildings, and completely destroyed stuff. How the Republicans and the right supported Charlie Kirk's, how they responded to Charlie Kirk's death was they responded to it with peace, with mourning his death. They sung for him. And people gathered and prayed. People went back to church. That's how we responded to Charlie Kirk's death. We didn't riot. We didn't destroy buildings. We didn't loot buildings. We didn't go out in the streets and start shooting people. That's not what we did. We didn't start beating the crap out of people in the streets. Did you see the left after George Floyd's death? Oh my gosh. They were beating the crap out of people. They were beating the crap out of innocent people. And then they try to claim that the Republicans are full of violence. Look at the left. They literally rioted and destroyed buildings after George Floyd's death. That does not make me think that they're the right party. That does not convince me that they're right. You want to know reasons why I left the Democrat Party? Well, this is it. You have all the rioting in the streets. You have people rioting in the streets. You have people who are idiots, who don't even know what they're talking about. You have people that are brainwashed and that can't think for themselves. Shut off the TV and you might start thinking for yourself. Just saying. Turn off the mainstream media and you might start thinking for yourself. Just saying. Also, one thing before this video ends, I'm going to explain to you one simple thing. Stop the violence. The left is violent, and the Democrats want to keep doxing ICE agents because that's what they do. They want to keep doxing ICE agents, and then they want to act like victims when they're being called out for it. If you want to know why ICE agents have to wear masks, it's because they're scared. They're scared to death because the left is so darn hateful. They have to wear masks. It is not their fault, and they should not have to not wear masks. They should 100% be allowed to wear masks. And if any person that is against ICE agents wearing masks, then maybe you should evaluate your party, and it should be obvious why ICE agents are wearing masks. Okay? In any state, especially Gavin Newsom, if Gavin Newsom tries to pass a law where ICE agents aren't allowed to wear masks, I'm going to make sure ICE agents wear masks anyway. And guess what? If they get in trouble for it, guess what? Donald Trump will step in and he will make sure Gavin Newsom obeys him. Gavin Newsom has to listen to Donald Trump, whether he agrees with him or disagrees with him. Gavin Newsom is a governor. Donald Trump is in the highest office in the country. Gavin Newsom will have to obey Donald Trump, and Donald Trump will step in if he has to. We saw it with Illinois. We saw it with Washington D.C. Violence got out of hand in Washington D.C. and Chicago. So Donald Trump sent the National Guard in because the police didn't want to do anything. The police couldn't do anything. In both states. In both cities, I mean. Just saying. And not to mention, let's talk about the people. The people living in these cities. The people that live in Washington, D.C. and Chicago were actually supporting this. Because they were tired of crime going all over the place. It's dumb. How can the Democrats be against stopping crime? I mean, come on. If Obama would have done this stuff, he'd be getting praise left and right. It's just double standards. It's just the double standards. If Obama would have sent the National Guard into a city to stop crime, Obama would get endless praise. People would stand in the streets and start praising Obama. They'd start slobbering all over him because that's what the left does. But when Donald Trump does it, he's all of a sudden, he's automatically a fascist. He's a fascist bigot when he does it, but when Obama does it, it's completely okay. That's double standards. Democrats would have no standards if it wasn't for their double standards. I hope you guys do your research. and stop watching the darn TV. Okay? Stop watching. Dude, take everything the news says with a grain of salt. Not everything the news says is accurate. Okay? Okay? Everything the news says, take it with a grain of salt. Everything you hear, take it with a grain of salt. You don't have to take my word for things. You could always Google them. I'm happy that you guys will, if you guys fact check me, go right ahead. Fact check me. But you're going to find out that I'm right because I did my research. Okay? Maybe stop attacking ICE agents and you might get what you want. I'm just saying. That's it. That's all I'm saying. This video wasn't meant to be too long, and it got long. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.